Whoa, stop. I was getting into it, and before they sing, I don't have permission from the lead singer of Thunder yet to play Loved Walked In for the Yeah Come On show. I have sent him messages. I have begged him. I want permission. I don't want to pay because people are downloading because they listen or watch the Yeah Come On show. So I don't have permission, but I got to tell you, I may get permission because lead singers are starting to die.
Who?
You know,
Like who?
I mean, well, you know who died. You don't know who died this week?
No, Van Halen was what, 2 weeks ago? Even that's
okay. No. And I hear our special guest, and he could pipe in here because I think I need to introduce him. He is my age. I think he'll know who died. From WSB, from the Word on the Street, he does weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 9 p.m. Shelley! What's up?
Hey, what's up, Steve and Brett? How you guys doing?
What's up, brother?
Breezy. I miss
Shelley,
you, Breezy.
I love it.
Too.
We all miss you, Shelley. We miss your energy. I miss your cigarette smoking in the parking lot. I miss your conservative views. I miss you asking me how it's going at the coffee machine. And I just, I need your energy. WSB is lucky to have you on weekends. And the Word on the Street is worth listening to 9 p.m. because it's you and 3 liberals. I think you're a little outnumbered, but can you handle your own on SB?
It's even. When it's 1 on 3 and I'm the one, it's even.
Oh,
I'm about to say
Totally even.
Yeka. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it to Brett. You can take a shot. WSB, are they or are they not the voice of the Georgia Bulldogs?
They are. They are totally the voice of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, on the Yeah Come On show, my co-host Brett Barney. No, Brett Barney is the host or the voice of Alabama.
And he could talk a lot of smack this week.
Hey, Shelly, what did I tell you before the game? You hit me up. I said, put the house on the over.
Yeah.
You and I both did it.
Yeah.
And we both hit it.
But I also went a step further, as I always do, and I took Georgia and the over in the parlay.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. I thought the 5 was a lot. I thought
on the road with a
I thought the 5 was a lot.
Yeah,
I always
do
that. I have a lock and I get greedy. I always
don't get greedy. You can't get greedy, Shelley. Take what you can get. You had good advice from an Alabama alumni. Now, hold on. I just want to say I got nothing at stake. I got 3 sister-in-laws that graduated from Georgia. My wife graduated from Auburn. I graduated from nowhere. And so, damn. But I liked Georgia Tech growing up because I used to usher for Tech, and we lived downtown, and my uncle went to Tech, and my cousin went to Tech. So I was a Tech guy. So I've always had a frustrated life. But, I will say Tech has had a national championship since Georgia has. 1990, they shared one. Georgia's only had one in 80. So it's tough.
It's true.
It's tough. It ain't easy to get those national championships, but Alabama, for some damn reason, doesn't seem to have a problem.
They cheat.
Bullshit.
They cheat.
How do we cheat?
I don't know. They must cheat. How do they get all these huge, strong African American guys that go to Alabama, of all places? Alabama.
I will say Alabama has not been kind to the brother. At least not.
No, they have not been kind to the brother.
Yeah,
Historically, they have not been kind to the brother, man.
No, I would tell Alabama to kiss it. I would say shove Selma up your ass.
Right. See,
sorry,
why.
Brett.
They cheat,
you guys
Brett.
are crazy. No way. That's not cheating. It's just changing the tides.
No, that Saban's a great coach.
That was good. Changing the tide. I trust you, Shelley. I trust you. You're a newsman. Well, Brett used to be a newsman. I don't know what. You guys are both newsmen.
That's all I do now.
Yeah, you want to highlight a little more, Shelley, and then Brett, if you'd like to talk about anything you're up to, you can highlight. But if you don't want to, you can stay silent.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Shelley, tell us more about the Word on the Street.
Oh, that was good.
It's a show. It's a show designed specifically to talk to Metro Atlanta. We like I said, we have 3 progressive, myself, conservative. My co-host Milani Kai is social conservative but more of an independent. But she is a Christian, hardcore Christian, and African American. Scotty B's African American, and DJ Crystal's white girl from Kentucky, very hates Trump, very progressive. And so it's a show for Metro Atlanta, and it's designed for that.
I hope the girl that hates Trump, you're not giving a lot of airtime to. I hope you cut her off a lot. That'd be nice.
No, she's actually behind the board, so she's in control of my mic.
Oh no!
Isn't that how it always goes?
Oh no!
The left controls the speaking.
What in the hell? Oh my God! Lord have mercy. I'll just say it. I don't want to upset a lot of people, but if the socialist aspect, the taxes that are coming, the programs that'll go down, people don't need programs. They need jobs, man. They need jobs. They need to work. They don't need to be on the government teat. They like them on the government teat, and they think they're helping them, but all they're doing is screwing them. Your whole life, what's your career? A check from the government? Is that really what you want? I don't think so. Hell no.
No one wants it in rural Georgia. No one wants it in the cities, the urban cities. No one wants it. Everyone wants to work. There's dignity in work.
There is dignity. You're right. I would rather work hard and make less than take money from the government, because you're right. There's dignity there, and it sets an example for your children. Now,
I would take a check from the government one time, called reparations. I'll take that check.
I ain't even gonna touch that shit. I'm drinking.
I'll totally touch it. I got an update on my phone last night when I got home from work, and it was one of those Twitter news updates that they send you every now and again. And it said something along the lines of, I should have screenshotted this. It said, economists estimate that racism in America costs $16 trillion. And that's all it said. And I didn't know if it was discussing reparations or just destruction of property through riots that have been going on, or what.
But I don't know. That sounds a little vague to me. What do you think?
That's real vague.
Yeah, too vague.
Unless it's talking about lost value or lost wealth, something like that. I couldn't understand. I'd have to find that story, because that's an interesting story that we would talk about on our show.
Yeah, but look at it like this, and you know what? This is my hiccup on the whole thing, just watching, is that I've never seen anybody get in any trouble, at least let's just say modern day, from the mid 80s or 90s on. I've never seen anybody or heard of anybody getting in trouble, white or black, that followed police instruction. If you do what the policeman says, especially since, let's just say 2000, if you do what the cop says, I think you're okay. It's when people don't do what they say, don't get out of the car, don't listen to them, run or hit a policeman, that we get these horrible situations. Why don't people just do what they're told? When a cop tells me put my hands on the steering wheel and get out of the car or whatever, I'm pretty much doing what he says.
And same here. I say the same thing, especially in the last 2 years. I don't understand how anybody is wrestling with running from or anything, especially when the narrative has been for the last 3 years that cops are shooting black men. So I don't understand how you don't comply. But then there's a flip side to that. And as a conservative, I always say, there's compliance, and then there's just, at some point as a conservative, I do have that right of freedom. I do have that, a right against illegal search and seizure. So at what point is complying with the government on anything they say and do? So a good example is Second Amendment advocates who say, out of my cold dead hands. At what point does the cop come along and say, hey, give me your gun? And you're like, out of my cold dead hands. Well, comply and you won't get in trouble. So this, I always see both sides of that issue. But like you, Steve, if I'm pulled over by the police, I'm listening to every command they give so I can get home and pay the ticket. Because I probably 9 times out of 10, I was wrong in the first place.
Yeah, you got to get home to your family or something like that. If you see that it's going to be worked out, and there's multiple police around, there's cameras on them, you've got somebody in your car filming them, just do what they say at that point. There's enough proof for a court date if that's what you want, but there's no need to fight or reach for a weapon or grab their weapon or grab a taser or any of that kind of crap. So,
that's
and
it's just right.
Yeah, it's just chaos. And in the way people jump on it, we never know who's at fault. If you give it time, you'll find out, was it the policeman at fault? Was it the individual that was pulled over, before you start marching, rioting, or, planting your ass at a Wendy's and tearing it apart? That's the part that kills me. And there's so many people that are so angry, and it's just the emotions. I don't know whether y'all touch on that on your show on WSB, but it's the emotions. It's almost like their parents, especially the white kids, their parents did not tell them how to handle their emotions. It's like they're acting out, and they're acting out at a college level. They're acting out in their 20s, their 30s, people crying and losing their minds and kicking and screaming when Hillary lost 4 years ago is insane, that people do not know how to handle their emotions at all.
The interesting thing is Antifa is all white kids.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's all white kids running around, burning down inner city neighborhoods, and no one says anything. But if the Proud Boys go burn down an inner city neighborhood, it's the alt-right acting out. It's just crazy what I'm watching, and I'm watching it with my own two eyes, and I'm like, wow, how is this real? How are you not telling me the truth?
Antifa, I'm sorry, man. You got to just, when they're around, that's where I keep asking for this. And you tell me if I'm off, Shelley. And I'm saying this on the radio. 90% of what we're talking about, I'm not saying on the radio. But I'm just saying that right now, because it's just too intense, man. Honestly, I want people to get along. Why is it that when I walk into a place and I run into somebody of color and we're all working, why is it that I'm so nice to them and they're so nice to me? Why is it that we accept each other, that color doesn't matter at all? I can get a tan and get close to you, but I'm just saying that it really doesn't matter, man. And I've never seen anything like it. Every white girl in the world's marrying a black man. So let's just we got a whole nother race coming. The in-betweeners, cream, whatever we want to call it. But, for me, it's just like, when did the color of one's skin define who they are? The main thing people should be upset with is anybody that's an asshole. If you're an asshole, you deserve to be hated on. You deserve to be arrested. You deserve to be disliked.
I agree. It's interesting because the media paints this picture that we're at war with each other. But if you go to a bar, if you go to the Battery during a Braves game, or go to the Battery on a regular Saturday night, blacks and whites, everyone's getting along, everyone's hanging out. Brothers are hitting on the white girls are hitting on the brothers. The white guys are getting mad. And
we hitting on the sisters, baby.
White guys are hitting on the sisters.
Hey,
but everyone's getting along, and you see that 99.9% of the time. You see that all over the country. But then you listen to the media, and it makes it sound like we're headed for civil war. And I just don't see it in my regular life.
That's the one thing I like about Trump, is calling out the media, and he does it almost in an immature way. I mean, I've got, family members, close friends that just don't like him. They say he's a child. He gets on Twitter. He just goes with his emotions. He acts crazy. I'm not saying he doesn't, by any means. But what I can tell you is that he loves his country. He loves the Constitution, and he understands what this country needs to do. It needs to be strong militarily. It needs to be, ready. Hold on, I think I'm out. Oh, there you guys. You guys still got me. I zapped out for a second.
Got you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. It needs to be strong militarily, and it needs to be a country that stays by its laws, and it needs police. It needs police. Anybody that wants to disband police forces or thinks that's the right way to go. And another thing that we need to actually be a democracy and not hate on each other and look at what's best for this country and work together. And the media is stirring it. Hollywood is stirring it. And it just nauseates me, man, that they hate so hard.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy to watch. For 3 years, when I was over with Brett over at the other station, and for 3 years we went on the air. We talked about Russia, and we laughed at this whole Russia collusion thing. And every morning we talked about it. We laughed. We're like, how can these people possibly believe this? This is crazy. And for 3 years, that's all they talked about. They find out that it's not true. They find out that it's really came from the Democrats and Hillary campaign. We find all of this out. And now Hunter Biden's emails come out, and they want to shut it down. And I'm like, look, if you believe the Russia thing, you have to at least look into this because I mean, Stormy Daniels was supposed to be the thing that brought down Trump. She was a hooker. He paid her straight up. They had sex. I mean, what was so bad about that? They were supposed to bring him down with that. And now these emails about getting $10 million and the big guy will get his 10 million. That's not newsworthy. It's sickening, man. It really is.
No, it really is.
The crack pipe?
We're headed towards totalitarianism. I mean, we really are.
Yeah, it's scary. Trump has to win just so we can hopefully over the next 4 years hit the reset button and get proof out where people can literally see it, and like you said, what's going on with Hunter Biden and that whole deal is just crooked as hell. And the fact that Hillary was diverting attention away from her email issues, putting the Russian thing in there, it blows my mind. It really does. I hope history looks back and investigates itself. But the thing is, we can't let this get out of control. And one reason I wanted to jump on all this is because having you on as a guest, I know how you think. I know how you fight. I think you're a very fair guy. I think you're definitely a great broadcaster.
Thank you.
And 2 days is not enough for you. And I would say that to anybody at WSB. You got a real a talent in there, and they need to put you on 5 days a week for sure. But the fact that you're on the weekends let's just say it. That was me. No, damn right. Hey, it's Southside Steve. For 26 years, I've been getting my ass kicked by WSB. I'm second. I'm third in men. I'm fourth in men. But number one in men is either V103 or WSB. And, I've been second. I have been first, but it was a fluke. WSB was second. You guys are an institution in Atlanta, and I'm an Atlantan, and I can tip my hat to somebody that's been doing it right, who charges a lot to their advertisers and gets the money. And you're working for a really class act and a great company. So the fact you're on there, I think, is cool. The fact that they know that you're worthy of a 9 p.m. show on weekends, especially one that I'm sure can get a little volatile. But you're class act. You know how far to take it and how not to take it. All I ask is people be informed. I've done the research. We're talking basics. We're not going to get too deep into it. I just ask people to put aside hate and look what's best for your nation. You might surprise yourself. I'm telling you, if Kennedy was running, I might vote Democrat, but he's not here. You can step aside and look, at what's best for your country at the time. I do think he was what was best for our country in the 60s. But right now, it's a damn Republican. If, ands, buts aside, that's it. Period.
Yeah.
We've got to keep our country together. We can't be socialists. So.
And I tell people, vote what's best for your family. As an individual, vote what's best for your family. If you think you're going to pay more in taxes, then you should vote against anybody that wants to raise your taxes. If you think your job is necessary, you should vote against a guy that wants to shut down the country until a virus that no one knows about goes away. You know what I mean? And since when have we ever known a virus to go away? I mean, Nancy Pelosi's still around, so. That was my little joke.
Well said. Well said. The only thing that concerns me on the Yet Come On show right now is Brett Barney. Your glasses. I feel like
you like them?
Well, they're cool.
Yeah, what are those?
They're sniper glasses. Those are sniper glasses, and you're suspect right now. I don't know what you're up to.
No, they're costume glasses that in here it's a little bit darker. And so when I put the sunglasses on, it's harder to see because, I'm getting old. Like Steve. So I've just been wearing these clear serial killer lenses.
Here we go.
I
got mine on now too. All right, is everybody happy?
I was going to say something, Brett, but I thought the better against it. I was going to say, where'd you get those glasses?
They're not real. I got them at the Halloween store, and I just find them highly entertaining. Because nobody ever expects you to show up in these things.
All right, I'm taking my real ones off then. That sucks. I thought you had real glasses. Okay, hell with I'm back to sunglasses.
No, I dressed as Dwight from The Office in a costume, and these were the glasses I bought.
I thought you were the dude from the bowling movie, where the dude drinks milk and Kahlua.
The dude.
The dude, yeah. And by the way, it's come out that he's sick right now. He's got a little cancer going on. The dude, Jeff.
The only bowling movie ever to be considered a real bowling movie is by far Kingpin. No other movie is a bowling movie. That is a damn bowling movie.
All right, Kingpin was horrible.
Kingpin was one of the greatest movies ever made. It's easy a top 15.
Yeah,
Okay, I give it
I
to
agree.
Gene Hackman. I love Gene Hackman's hair, but the losing your hand, it
Gene-
just wasn't fair. It wasn't fair.
What are you talking about, Gene Hackman? Bill Murray. Bill Murray's the one going with the hair everywhere.
yeah.
Oh, I
And
was
he's got the
thinking Gene Hackman.
rose.
No, that was Bill
Oh
Murray.
my gosh, what a movie. That was the
All
first movie I ever watched a guy take a shit in a urinal and ever got the thought, you can take a shit in a urinal.
Right. If it's full.
As a little
if the
kid, I
toilet
was
is
like,
full,
I can do
you
that?
could definitely do it.
Yeah.
If the toilet is full, you could definitely do it.
All right, I was wrong with
Definitely.
Gene Hackman. It was Bill Murray. I apologize. And I do remember the rose. And I remember the movie. He lost his hand and somebody peed on his carpet. Or no,
Yeah.
I'm mixing that up. Or something. I don't know. Man, they
Roy
peed on his
Munson.
carpet.
Roy Munson.
That's
You
it.
don't want to get Munson.
You don't want to get mudslid. One thing that I do want to get out right now because of our proud sponsors that allow us to talk this kind of trash. Special thanks to oxygenfinancial.com for all your needs. And I'm talking about money needs. I'm talking about investments, people. I'm talking about stocks. That's Ted Jenkin. Make sure you get into oxygenfinancial.com. Tell them we sent you. And then circle285.com for those of you that are probably paying too much. This is for insurance. You stay with these big companies, and then they cut you. They cut you when you have an accident, and you paid more than you should have. If you're a good person, go to circle285.com. They'll get you on with an A company, and you'll pay less. And lastly, David Markwell, Ridgeline Counseling, our psychiatrist on the show with 2 locations, Marietta and Blue Ridge. Dave Markwell, thank you very much. At this point in time, I'd like to throw it to a Dave Markwell commercial to take a little break from this intensity of politics.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives, everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms, and in a few weeks, we'll be transitioning back to in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
And we're back. Special thanks again to Dave Markwell and Ridgeline Counseling. It's the Yeah Come On show. And I asked you guys at the start of the show what rock singer died, what has happened right now, the loss that we should all be feeling. And you guys all referenced Van Halen. Y'all want to stay with Van Halen? Eddie did die last week, and that's horrible. Horrible.
That was 2 weeks ago.
All right, 2 weeks ago. Hey, I'm still living it. I'm still watching Van Halen videos every single night. I was watching Valerie Bertinelli and Wolfgang right before we started this podcast. I kid you not. So I'm a little into it, but there's a bigger problem out there. We have lost Tony Lewis.
Who the fuck is Tony Lewis?
Have you ever heard of the band called The Outfield?
It's our favorite song, Brett and I.
Yeah, we used to, when we were having a down show, that would always be our bumper song to pick. That was the pick it up. All right, let's get going.
Pick it up song.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, boys? Your Pick It Up song, your lead singer, who was actually in our radio station just 2 years ago, for no reason, we don't know what the reason is. He was near his home, not at home. He has a wife of 30 years. He was working on a new album to release some new music. He's got 2 kids, and he dies, and we don't know why. Died yesterday. So Tony Lewis, lead singer of The Outfield, is deceased. That does it for The Outfield, gentlemen.
Oh, that sucks. Tony Lewis on a vacation far away. Dude, what a
Give me
great
a little
song.
more? That was good. You can hit notes I can't hit. You can hit notes I can't. Can you give me a little more?
Shelly, you got me on this one? You got my backup?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Shelly's the singer of the 2.
Right. You know, it's interesting. Someone hit me up on Facebook this morning saying, and it was a direct message, and it said, Shelley Wynter, Tony Lewis died.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I not until now that I realized why she sent it to us, because she used to listen to our show, Brett.
Oh,
and she knew that we liked the Outfields. But I thought he was a politician or something, because, you know, that's what we mostly do. Now I realize why she sent me that direct message.
I don't want to use your love tonight. Dude, Shelly used to sing on the show. You don't sing that much anymore.
I do all the time.
Not as much as you used to.
Oh, maybe not, because I don't know.
Maybe it's because I used to walk
you know?
in every morning at like 5 a.m. and you were singing your ass off, and I'm trying to get work done. And I don't have to sit around that anymore.
I will tell you, Shelly, anytime I pulled in, he'd already done his work for the morning, prepared to do a show. And he was just taking himself a little cigarette break or sitting in his car listening to music, just getting his head together, which I can dig it. And here I come pulling in, and then I'd walk him in. And he was always upbeat, up tempo. Dude, you were ready. You were ready.
Yeah, it's my dream. I mean, to be on the radio is a dream come true. So, it's you don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? You really
That's
don't.
Good. I totally respect that. Your work ethic is definitely acknowledged and known. And I loved having you in the building, man. It was good energy. Of course, none of us are in the building now. Are you guys at WSB? Are you still going into your studio? Because our company, we are not.
Yeah, we are. Most of us are. Some guys are still doing it, on the from home. But we still in. Mark Aram still comes in to do his show. We still do our show in the studio. I'm not sure why it is. I don't know. I just think that's what people choose to do. But there's no blanket. There's no blanket. You have to do it from home.
Which is cool. We have a couple of people. Certain people are allowed to go in. Like our afternoon show is done in the studio, and then we have one person on our morning show in the studio. But I think we'll get there. People are still a little cautious, and I definitely am not going to try to tackle that one. I think right now the bigger thing is voting early. But I believe in doing it in person. I don't trust mailing it in.
No.
Call me crazy. I'm not going to do it.
I'm going on. I'm one of those guys. I still read a hard newspaper, and I'll still be going into on election day on Tuesday to vote, and I'll just wait there all night if I have to. But I'm going inside the polling. I'm going inside the place on the election day.
I respect that. It's old school. Like my mother-in-law has been begging me to pay bills online because I'm a check writer. I'm like, I got the power. Nobody's drafting me. I don't have to go on and look. If I want to pay extra, I got the power and I can manage my account, and it doesn't bother me to lick and stick or to write a check. Tease me all you want. I still go into the bank. I still go into the post office. And if I read a newspaper, I read it the same way you do. I pay to look at it online. I get tired of staring at a damn computer. I do it enough. So I like to hold the news. Hold it. So we're old school.
We need shirts that say lick and stick.
My wife still pays with checks. Every month she sends them all out. She refuses to do it online.
God y'all are old.
God bless. Do me a favor, Shelly, because it's late. We're doing a late podcast. When you have sex with your wife tonight, scream "God bless America."
Okay.
Shelly will probably answer this. What's the weirdest thing?
Should I scream that or my side chick's name? Which one?
Oh damn! No, you scream "God bless America." You scream.
I don't want to get into that.
We're gonna let that go. That go. Every once in a while, the Come On show lets things go. We didn't let it go. But right now, the bad thing is one guy I can't let go of, Brett Barney for life here on the Come On show. I let Brett with his sniper glasses, which that's what they look like. I'm sorry, they do. I dig them. I like your look. I want you to keep wearing those. There's something about it. But I would like to turn over the Come On show and let you ask some of your fiery questions. Take it anywhere you want to take it. We got nothing but love on this show. One thing I do know about the Come On show is that we understand each other's differences. There are no racists. All we have is people that like to have sex and are alcoholics. That's it.
Smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got cigarettes tonight.
And Shelly, if you want to take one of those and light it up, feel free. We do not care. You would not be the first person to smoke on the show.
I was waiting for you to ask the question. I'm getting ready to.
Okay,
hey, so you can, because I would smoke a cigar down here in the basement if my wife wouldn't kick my ass. I'd smoke a cigar.
That's why I'm outside.
So as Steve said, one thing is that I do is my inability to let things go. Shelly knows this because when I hear something, I'll call it out and be like, that makes zero sense. But this is your return to the podcast. And I think that you and Steve actually had one of the most interesting conversations ever recorded on this show the first time you came on, and that was
it about homosexuality?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, just checking.
It was who wore it better, Black Panthers or the Ku Klux Klan? Or wait, was it the Nazi Party or the American soldiers? So I wanted to expand upon this and start out by asking you guys maybe some more relevant ones. I only had a couple.
Thank God we're not touching on those again.
Who wore it better? Who's got the better style? Antifa or the Proud Boys?
Proud Boys, definitely. Proud Boys.
Yeah, Proud Boys.
Why?
I'm with Shelly.
Because they wear what they're gonna wear every day. The Antifa gets in a uniform.
Yeah.
But they got the face masks, so they're 2020 friendly.
They have face masks, they have cardboard shields and homemade weapons. They're like a bad revolution. They're like a Woody Allen revolutionary group. Like they're a caricature of a revolutionary group.
I like that. Well said. One thing I tried to get out early in the show, and I just remember what I wanted to say. Quick question, Brett, if you're okay with this. Europe is ahead of us. There's no doubt in a lot of ways. Dealing with people and things. I think sometimes we're too free and we let the bad people, the small majority, get too big of a voice. Because it's not good for us. Because there are people out there that are just hell bent on not being happy, never being satisfied, being angry, and they have dumbass reasons for it, in my opinion. Can we bring in the water cannons? I'm talking about those big ass trucks, the ones that are like thicker than tanks, and they squirt water and just squirt everybody 100 yards down the street. Nobody's shooting anybody, no fires, no anything. And if there is a fire, you can put it out quickly. Should we or Atlanta own a water cannon truck?
Well, Steve, I'd say no.
Damn.
Because
please expand.
For historically for us, then the next thing are German Shepherds, and those just evoke too many bad memories for us. So the water cannon is a no. Yeah, it's a hard no for me.
I didn't even think of that. I just watch all the European videos, and when there's a protest, here comes the water truck. Nobody gets shot, and everybody goes 100 feet down the street.
The best thing about America is also our weakest part. Is the greatest thing we have is freedom of speech. Everyone has a voice, but it's also, when it comes times like these, it also becomes the worst part. But I wouldn't take it away at any cost. I would not challenge anyone's freedom to protest, to riot, to do whatever they want to do. But just know you're going to pay the consequences of arrest if you break the law.
All right, stand corrected. I like it. Thank you. You changed my point of view. No water cannons, but it was a European thing, man. I wasn't taking us back anywhere.
Now they do have these they have these audible horns that are really loud. I'll take those.
I didn't know about the horns. They
have these horns that are very high pitched.
Are you talking about the vuvuzelas?
The who?
The vuvuzelas?
Dude, those ruined. I couldn't watch soccer for a minute because of those damn things. Oh my God.
Brett, did you buy one of those when they were hot?
Okay,
had one.
Were those the ones that were really hot during the Nagano Winter Olympics?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was my first introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have one. I do know people that have them. I've definitely messed with one before.
It's like Dr. Seuss comes alive, man.
That sounds like a podcast. That's a whole nother podcast. I've messed with one before.
All right, Brett, I'll let you have it back.
Her name was Duvella.
Her name was Vuvuzela. I'm probably not even saying the damn name right. Who wore it better? Who's got the better sense of style? The Black Lives Matter movement or the Civil Rights movement?
Civil Rights movement.
Why?
All day long, Civil Rights movement. The suits.
Those guys marched from Selma to Birmingham in suits and hard-bottom shoes.
Yes.
And ties on.
And ties. There was nothing better. My father was such a fan of Martin Luther King, covered him because he was the art director for the Atlanta magazine at the time. So we've got a lot of great photographs. My father covered the funeral, which that's what he wanted. He said a horse-drawn wooden coffin with a donkey. He goes, that was just class act for what that guy had been through. But his message was real, and the way that they handled it and the way that they dressed, can't touch it. That doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that Shelley did say civil rights movement. I kind of figured Steve would, but Shelley likes the really ironic T-shirt prints. or printed T-shirts, you know, with a saying or somebody's name. Hell, he has shirts that have his own name on them that he likes to wear. And I feel like that was more of a BLM thing when you see most of those guys marching because they have their message and they print it on a shirt.
Yeah, I just thought the civil rights they were because their message was more, the message was loud and clear verbally, but non-verbally the suits and the ties and the dress was a non-verbal cue to white America that, look, we're human beings also. And I think that was a more powerful message. When you looked on TV, you couldn't hear what they were saying, but you could see everyone in a suit and tie and a cap on.
Yeah, wasn't it crazy how intelligent they were about that and how tactful they were about that? Just the mind F, you know, just to get across. That was so smart to do that, you know,
Yeah.
it was genius at the time. I mean, it really was.
I would say at this point, you'd have to just consider it iconic. Just any of the
absolutely.
images of the stance and the suit and everything, it's powerful.
Absolutely.
As Steve was saying, his dad's pictures that they have.
Oh yeah, love those pictures, man. I still have them. It's so neat to look at that.
Shelly, let's talk about last Friday. This man, and I'm sorry if you can hear the dog drinking water, but it's right there. This man drove.
Is that what he's doing? Is he drinking water?
It's a she. It's a she.
Well, I can smell peanut butter from here.
It is a little wiener, but okay, last Friday, Shelley hosted a caravan. I don't really know what you want to call it. And everybody went down to the Trump rally, and Shelley got to kind of hang out with the big wigs and everybody down there. Well, okay, I've never been to a Trump rally. I don't know if Steve has. I did go to a W. Bush rally one time. Are they similar? What's different about Trump rallies?
It's part festival. If you ever been to a festival, it's part that. It's part revival, tent revival, part like concert, part big giant get together, family reunion kind of thing, because you know everyone's thinking like you that's there. People are happy, people are excited. They're about to see their guy. And so it's really nothing I've ever been to before. I went to see Barack when he came here at Georgia Tech, and the emotions were kind of different because, one, he hadn't won yet, but he had a rock star feel, but it was just a rally. You know what I mean? It was just a bunch of people. Everyone was excited, but it was a different feel. It was more, you know, it's the same love for the candidate, but it's a different feel. At the Trump rally, you almost feel like the thousands of us here, and we all feel the same way. We're all under attack. And because, you know, the same thing, you know, we are called names, I'm called names, the white people are called names, everyone's called names. So you also feel a sense of community that you're all under attack from the mob, so to speak. And so I mean, I've been to two here in Georgia, and they're fun. I mean, they really are a lot of fun. And this time I took my little speaker, my little Bluetooth speaker. I sat in front of the Trump bus, had my cooler, myself and Danny Hamilton, and we were just passing out beers, passing out sodas, and playing music.
Love Danny Hamilton. For those of you that don't know, he's been very near and dear to me since the early days of the Atlanta Motor Speedway and 96 Rock. I started working with Danny and being around him in 94, 95, and he has helped me. The day I got married, he put a bus behind the jewelry store to have all my family on. Then he took me in another bus down to my bar. He always took care of me. Star Coaches is the name. If you ever think you want to travel, believe me, it's cheap if you get about 8 guys on a bus. And if you're going to go golf or anything, go with Danny Hamilton and Star Coaches. That guy is a self-made millionaire, hardworking sumbitch.
Hardworking. And he speaks very highly of you, Steve. He's always told me he speaks very highly. And also his the cafe right next to the bus, where the Bus Star Cafe, some of the best breakfast you'll have if you just want to go and sit with a bunch of, you know, I call it like the working man's cafe, like no foo she little beignets or croissants. No. This is hardcore American breakfast with hardcore American guys. They all got working boots on, Carhartt jackets. You know what I mean? It's like working class.
He's right. I've had breakfast there. It is something else. It just doesn't work for my schedule, obviously. But
Right.
Danny is fantastic. He is one of my top people. So that's so cool that you did that and you went to the rally. I have never been to a Trump rally. I've never been to any candidate's rally. The only thing I was involved in, I don't know if you were, Shelley, the Tea Party. I did go. I was down there with Herman Cain. I've spoke several times at one Harley Davidson rally at a couple Harley Davidson locations. Spoke once at Wild Bill's for the Tea Party. So I've taken the stage about 5 or 6 times, but that was pretty powerful too, doing
The
that.
Tea Party, the Tea Party was actually the only right wing or right political side of the fence organic group, and then unfortunately the party took it over and
Yeah.
ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
They ruined the whole thing. But what kept it alive was Trump's candidacy. I will say that the Tea Party was kept alive as a grassroots organization with the Trump candidacy. But the party, when they put all that money in it, the Koch brothers and everything, they ruined it.
Ruined it. I agree. There you go. What else you got, Brett?
Shelley, what's one thing that you've seen at a Trump rally that the media would never mention on air? Because I got to be honest, from the pictures that you put out, from what I see on TV with either Fox or CNN or whoever, MSNBC, it doesn't matter because we have to look at everything. It looks a little more diverse from your pictures, but I don't know if that's honestly true.
It is. Let's be honest. If there's 1,000 people there, and of course there's much more. If there's 1,000 people, yes, 850 are going to be, white guys, white women, white couples, and about 150, African Americans. But that's still a higher number than what the media will tell you. And it's still a higher number than a guy that's supposed to be this rabid racist and sexist and rapist should get. So that's the one thing. But also, what you don't see in the media, I saw the CBS News was there, and they were interviewing this young guy. Now, there were several people around this young guy who could speak eloquently about why he was at the rally, but they picked this young guy. And you could tell this young guy probably had every conspiracy theory in his mind about life. You know what I mean? You could just look at him and tell by his buttons, by the things he had on. And I'm like, why would they pick them and not say there was a black couple standing right next to the kid? There was an older couple. There was a Hispanic girl that was there. So it was like, why would you pick this one kid
doesn't
that you
fit
know
the
is going to
narrative.
say that
Doesn't
the
fit the
Democratic
narrative.
Party is filled with child rapists or something? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you were going to get. I can look at the guy and tell that's what he was going to say.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
it's
the one thing.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're taking your pictures and put them up. Just keep doing it. We'll share them. You got to do what you got to do. There's still hope, but for me, it does stink. About the way that they paint this guy, and it's so funny because they're a party, and I'm speaking of Democrat Party that is like, we're being hammered, we're being treated unjustly, we're being hated on. You guys are racist. Yet I don't see any conservative saying anything to these people or doing anything or protesting, yet they're hateful as hell. They're doing to Donald Trump, they're doing to anybody that comes out as a conservative to parade around or be seen. They are coming at them 3 times worse. And it just is like, it's the most hypocritical thing to ever watch. It's like, you guys are totally hating. You're not even thinking. You're not even educated. And I hate college professors. I'll say it to you a-holes right now. The crap you coach, and and that's what it is. You're coaching these kids to hate. You just got to hope they got good parents.
That's it. That's our only hope.
Shelley, at the rally, you got to do a one-on-one with Herschel Walker?
No, we afterwards. We did it on the show Friday night.
Yeah,
cool.
But you got to speak with Herschel. What's one thing in hindsight that you're glad you discussed and took away from it? And what's one thing you wish you would have asked?
I wish we would have asked more football questions. But we got him. We got him honestly because he's a Trump supporter, and so the campaign sent him. Got him on for us. I work a lot with the campaign, but I wish I would have had a longer time with him to ask him more football related questions. Because if I'm gonna
Go
talk
ahead.
to Herschel Walker, I mean, I know why you like Trump. I get that. That can be answered in 5 minutes. But
Yeah,
I
he
really
made
want
him
to
a
talk
millionaire.
football. Yeah, I want to talk football with Herschel Walker. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I would like to have done.
There was a guy that worked at a John Deere location when I was in country radio. It was only for 1 year in '07. I was with Rhubarb in Dallas on 106.7. You guys, your old stick, but I was on it when it was the Eagle. And so I'm doing these remotes. So I'm doing country remotes. So where am I at? I'm at a John Deere store. But the manager, I noticed that he had a national championship ring on. I'm like, Georgia. I'm like, well, you don't see those very often.
Right.
So we start talking. He turned out to be a great guy. We stayed in contact, of course. I worked for him a few more times. We've called each other various times. But he gave me the best Herschel Walker story. He said that he was on there, I think, at Herschel's freshman year, his junior year. He's in the huddle. He's a lineman, offensive lineman. Herschel comes out. It's his first time, and he's going to run the ball. And, Buck gives it to him. He runs, gets about 19 yards on his first run, comes back to the huddle, and Herschel goes, man, this is just like high school. just a great story. Right. I think he thought he was going to get, in high school, he's running 20, 30 yards every time you handed him the ball.
Right.
And I think he thought, even outside of practice, with his own team, he was going to get 4 and 5 yards, and he gets 19, comes back. Oh man, this is going to be okay.
This is going to be okay. Right.
It's going to be okay. Good story. What else you got, Brett?
We're taping this on Wednesday night. Everybody knows the debate is tomorrow night. This will come out after the debate for the first time, I guess, that I know of. They're going to allow the moderator to mute the candidates. How do you feel about that? And do you think it will make a big difference?
I think it's going to play to Trump, because the thing is, it's 2 minutes uninterrupted. So what's going to happen is when Biden asks a question, when they ask Biden a question, they're going to mute Trump so he doesn't interrupt. That's fine. I don't think, that's good. Good. I think that's good for the American people. The flip side to that is it's 2 minutes of Trump going off for 2 minutes straight, uninterrupted. He can't be cut off. He can't be, you can't mute him while he's answering the question. So he's not even going to answer many questions. He's just going to unload on Biden, and he's going to unload on these emails. And that's what he's going to do. And they can't stop him, because if they do, it really plays to his hand if they do cut him off or mute him in the middle of his answer. So I think that's, he's complaining about it, but at the end, I think it benefits him. It hurts Biden to talk for 2 minutes straight. He's going to go down rabbit holes consistently. And so by muting Trump, Trump is not allowed to jump in there and help him by cutting him off. So now you're going to see Biden. Biden can't hold a thought for 2 minutes straight. I think he's going to have a lot of flubs. I really do.
I think you're spot on. There's not much more I need to say. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't look at it that way. But now that I think about it, not just him, but his VP as well, they were able to gather their thoughts because they were acting like they were being interrupted. They were allowed to divert and deal with the interruption rather than answering the question. I think both of them, not just him, I think President and VP, or the two running for the Democratic Party, will both stumble in those areas. I think they do sink themselves. That's a great view. I totally agree.
All right. Should I keep going political, or do you want me to kind of get a little bit away from it? Because I do have a guy question.
I need to do a dude question. You know what? Shelly has to talk about this. And Shelly, I didn't know you're on Friday nights at 9 or just Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday.
All right, making sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We fill in a lot.
So if somebody, why not? You should fill in. When your show starts at 9 on WSB on Saturday and Sunday, what time is it off? Is it a 1 hour, 2 hour? What is it?
Saturday is 9 to midnight, and Sunday is 9 to 11.
Damn. Oh, that's good stuff. All right. If I'm coming home.
We technically have 5 hours on the weekend.
Okay, cool. Well done, sir. All right, go ahead, Brett.
All right, guy code question right here. I went golfing Saturday, got a little bit lost in the sauce. On my way home, I was having a little bit of a hankering for some wings. Went to this bar, ordered some wings to go. continued to get a little lost in the sauce even deeper. I mean, we're talking very thick, deep sauce. Guy walks in, ends up being, and I maybe should not want to put this on here because he might listen to this. I don't know. He was a loyal listener to a station that I used to work on with Shelly and recognized me. It was him and his girl, blah, 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 blah. He introduced me to her. They're older gentlemen like you guys, dating, doing whatever. Hey, he leaves, girl's still there. New guy comes in, sits down next to me. Him and I, boom, we hit it off. We're having a good time. He's talking to her. He's talking to me, blah, 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 blah. She gets up and leaves. He's like, oh, that was my girlfriend. Well, she came here with a guy that was like, this is my girlfriend. And I was sitting there the whole time going, do I tell him? Do I tell him? And at one point, I went, can I tell you something about her? And he goes, what's that? And then like that in my head, I go, don't do it. She's a very beautiful woman. And I just left it.
Damn. Well, who's the real boyfriend, the first or second guy?
Even the bartenders were looking like, because both were regulars.
Now I used to date. I don't know about Shelly. I dated a lot. So girlfriend status never really came in, I was like, one or two were my girlfriends. The rest of them I just dated. So it was open season. It may be that way in this, but I'd stay out of that one unless it was one of your boys.
And it's not your boy. My thing is, like, if it's you, you're my boy, Brad. If I see that with you, I'm calling you immediately because no one's going to play my friends.
There you go.
I mean, a guy that listens to us, hey, more power to you, brother.
To be honest, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
he was like, I met you at Big Tex. I was like, cool. I'm gonna keep drinking.
Only if it's your friends, and it's got to be a real close friend that really likes her. Now, if it's a guy friend of yours and he's just humping around like Steve said, and you see the girl, you're like, none of my business. You know what I mean? He doesn't really respect her. He's not really taking her seriously, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But if my guy's walking around talking about he's ready to get a ring and I see her with someone else, I'm telling him.
I would tell him unless they said they were getting the ring at D. Geller and Son, then I wouldn't because I want D. Geller and Son to get the business. Sorry.
My man.
Gotta look out for your own.
My guy. I understand.
So I didn't violate guy code by, in my mind, I was like, don't do it. It could ruin this guy's day. It's a Saturday. Everybody's having fun.
You did the right thing.
You did the right thing.
Shelly, you're one of the cheapest humans I've ever met. Can you tell me 3 things that you would never pinch a dollar out of a penny on? Like 3 things you should never skimp on. And I can give you a couple of mine. Shoes, toilet paper, and I'd have to think maybe like alcohol. I don't know. No, I don't know, man.
It's hard.
You're a cheap son of a bitch.
Jewelry for my wife. That's probably the only thing. But other than that, I got on a pair of shoes now that I go to work in it. My regular job, I work security. And I've got a pair of shoes I bought from Walmart for $10. So I'll skimp on shoes. I'll skimp on liquor. I'll skimp on, anything. Probably if my wife asked me for something specific, that's the only thing I wouldn't skimp on because I buy the specific thing. But other than that, I'm always trying to save a buck.
Steve, you got any help here?
No, dude, I'm always out to waste a buck. I'm horrible. My wife is the one thing that's trying to right that ship. I always bought the best. And if I got into something, I bought everything I think I might need, whether I got all into it or not. And then I keep it and I might sell it or just keep it. I got more crap. It's all brand name crap, but I've learned that that's not the way to go. So I'm learning, but I'm not there yet. I don't skimp much.
Yeah, I buy knockoffs a lot.
Yeah.
Where do you get them?
The barbershop. Where else?
Speaking of the barbershop, do you still keep in touch with your good old buddy Killer Mike?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, big story that we were able to break, even for a weekend show. Killer Mike had a meeting with the governor. And the next day, we had both of them on the show together at the same time. And that was really huge because both of them were getting a lot of criticism from their respective sides for meeting. And we happened to have them both. We brought them both on at the same time. And that was a big story for us. That was a big get.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yep.
Good job.
I got to tell you this. Every time he tries to call you, he accidentally calls me. I get missed calls from him all the time, but it does not make me look any cooler than to hold up my phone and be like, hey, look, Killer Mike's calling me.
Right.
Actually,
right.
the first time I ever hung out with the lady, well, I guess like I met one of her friends. We were eating lunch and phone goes off right on the table and it's him.
Oh, that's cool. Did you get some that night?
Duh.
I think Brett gets it every night. I think
so too.
I think he gets it in the morning.
I think I'm closer to her than either of you guys are to your women. I mean, like in physical distance right now, like she could spit on me.
Yeah. Well, I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't.
I might like it.
That's according to Brett. That's only according to Brett that he
he does
heard her side of the story.
No, I haven't. I have seen them in the car together. And she has a thing about leaning over on him, so I think she likes him a little bit. So
okay.
I think he's doing okay.
Has she locked the door as he walked around the back of the car? The test?
No, but she did mouth to me, "Help me, help me."
Yeah, how do you know if a girl's a keeper?
First off, if they're into you, that's one good thing. If you know that they love you so much they would never wonder or lie to you, that's pretty huge. So that's good. I'm not going to get into big breast, small breast, ugly feet crap, but I'm just going to tell you that.
Too.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. If a girl, I will tell you, I've had two girls give that up, and one I broke her in, and it was we both were like, all right, let's try it. I'm like, okay. But the wife, I said on our 10-year anniversary I would do that, and it hasn't. I've been told no way in hell. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What? You're gonna get pegged?
Once you put the ring on them, it's over. You can't put that toothpaste back.
No, I'm gonna try to attack the bottom on our 10-year anniversary.
I can't believe that out of 419 women, you've only had anal with 2.
Well, a lot. I've done a lot of things with my finger, but I have not done it with Steve Senior. But 2, you're right. And I know it was 414 and 400. And the girl that was 400, she thought that I teased her because I called her 400 on the air. She thought it was because she lived up Georgia 400.
Oh,
wow.
I was thinking because of her weight.
No, she was hot as hell.
See, I
real
can
hot.
talk smack because my wife will never see this, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That she's a loyal supporter.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good. All good.
I don't really have that much more. I could just keep going on politics stuff, or we could all just shoot the shit and close out. Whatever you want to do here.
Well, I got to tell you, we're gonna close out because it's late. We have taped this late on a Wednesday night before the debate. I will tell you right now, regardless of how the three of us vote, which you could probably figure it out, we ain't hating. We just want our country to be everything that it can be. And I think I speak for all three of us. And I want everybody to profit. I want everybody to have a career if they can and a job, and only government assistance if it's absolutely necessary. And I just think people need to look at the Constitution and look at this country and look at right now how it's being attacked within and how weak we will become and how somebody's going to take advantage of that. And that's a fact. You can look at a number of countries that will take advantage of that. And we could be in serious trouble, not just economy, but, you could even look at wars down the road. We can't be weak. Got to be strong. So
I agree.
Yeah, totally agree. And I would like to thank Shelley for coming on. Shelley, you're a great broadcaster. I always got a kick out of working across the hall with you and Brett. I miss you.
I miss you guys too.
Yeah, and I hope we get to work together again, or I hope we get to compete 5 days a week. That'd be nice too. But the word on the street is the show. It is on WSB, and Shelley is on it, and that's Saturdays from 9 to midnight, and that's Sunday from 9 to 11. Check it out and listen to what this guy's got to say. All voices are heard. I appreciate you being on the Come On show.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you and Brett for having me. I hope I didn't get myself fired. So when I replayed in my mind, I don't think I did. So I think I'm good. But
Well, we will re-listen to the show, and if you need to edit something out, I don't think you did. I just wanted, it's a podcast. We get away with a little bit, but you know what? This is how people feel. People talk, and we're not doing anything that I'm not hearing on CNN and that I'm not hearing on Fox, and I bounce back and forth because I want to hear both sides. Both sides.
But I miss Breezy though. I miss you, brother. I got to say this. I'll say this on a podcast. I could say honestly, I was a political talk show host before I started working with Brett, and Brett taught me totally how to be an entertaining political talk show host. That's all him, and he's a good young man, and I value his friendship a lot. I really do. I mean that a lot, Brett.
That was pre-glasses, so
yeah. Well, that's pre-glasses.
I'm evolving.
Brett, I'll tell you, you're a good copywriter. There's no doubt. You didn't give me anything to read today, so I sounded like a jackass. But I will tell you, under normal circumstances, you give me some pretty good intel.
Yeah, and I've been sitting writing copy all day, and I didn't even think about it. I just slipped my mind. I got 1 hour of downtime. I was like, I'm going to sit here and watch Netflix for a little bit. Sorry, that one's on me.
Thank you for being irresponsible, but we love our country. We love you, whether you agree with us or not. There ain't no hate in our bag. It's the Yeah, Come On show. Yeah, come on.